I started working at Ocean Beauty 37 years ago, so I guess it's OBI for 9 months now, and Ocean Beauty for 36 years and a few months. I was a student at Boise State University. I was a biology major, and I started working for Ocean Beauty in Boise. They have a seafood distribution company there. It was called Idaho Fish Company. And I started as a truck driver to help pay for college. I ended up working my way into working in the plant. I was the plant foreman. I tried to talk my way into the sales department, and eventually I did get in the sales department. I became the sales manager and the general manager of the Idaho Distribution Company over the next 3 years. At the time, we had an office, a distribution location in Denver, Colorado, and one in Seattle. And I picked to come to Seattle, and that's how I ended up from Boise here. I worked on the distribution side of the business for the first 10 years I was at Ocean Beauty, and then I had an opportunity to move into sales and marketing on the national side. So it was kind of the Washington Fish and Oyster side back then. And so I did. I moved over to the corporate side, and that's how I got into sales and marketing. And then eventually I was promoted into the president and CEO role from that. My role as president and CEO of OBI Seafoods, what I look at in the role of our company is we're a link between our customers in the market and the fishermen that we buy products from. And we have to be the strongest link in that connection to satisfy both. If we don't have a great source of raw material, our customers will be dissatisfied with us. If we don't have great customers and good access to the market, our fishermen will be dissatisfied with us. And so part of my daily responsibility is to make sure that our market execution, that we diversify our customers, our customer base, and our product mix in a way that we have access to the best markets and the most markets around the world, is something strategically that I think about every day. There's personnel, making sure that we have career opportunities for our employees, that we keep our employees safe, that we keep the food that we manufacture safe. So if there's anything that keeps you up at night in this job, it's always the safety of employees and the safety of the products that you sell to consumers, because they're going to take them home and eat them and feed their families. And food safety is the most important thing that we do. The biggest challenges for me in this position are probably the same as challenges are for most employees that have moved up in the company. You don't know what you don't know. And you don't start out as a truck driver and somehow you were prepared to be the president of the company. And so you're always taking on responsibilities that you really don't know how to do. And so I would say, just as you move up and take on new job responsibilities and things that are outside your comfort zone, that's not easy for anybody. It wasn't easy for me. And it just took support from people that didn't have that knowledge. We have a great group of people that work here that helped train me, that answered questions, that gave me advice. And so that helped me get through. But I think those were my biggest challenges, but I had a lot of support. The thing I most enjoy about my job is seeing people that I've worked with, that I was here when they got married, I was here when they had kids, I was here when their kids went to college, graduated from college, have started their own families. To know that this company provided a career where they could raise a family and enjoy, their time here, and they stayed until a lot of them are here still, but I've watched some of them retire. I think that's the very best part of this job. I think one of the things that gives me a really good sense of accomplishment is when you took on a big project for a customer and it worked well. I can think of the first time we had to put together a huge fresh shipment that involved multiple containers from Bristol Bay to a big customer in the southeast. And when a customer tells you at the end of that how well you did, how happy they were, and you knew it involved just about every aspect of the company, but you really got to see what the whole team working together resulted in, and a customer that tells you how well you did and they're anxious to do business with you again the next year because you helped make them successful, I think gives me a great sense of accomplishment. Things that I admire about other people, I would say I've got two good examples. I work with John Hanrahan and Tony Ross every day, and I have for over 30 years. And what I admire about each one of them is how different the three of us are, how different they are from each other, and how good they are at the skill sets that they have. Tony amazes me at the amount of work that he can get done in a week. Tony can just chew through a god-awful amount of work and does it without complaint, and it's just how he goes to work every day. John will look at a problem, I'll look at a problem, and John will have a completely different solution to the same problem. So all three of us can look at something, and John usually comes up with a solution that we hadn't thought of. It might be way outside the box, but I've seen more creative solutions to problems come out of John than just about anybody I know. You know, I would tell anybody that's thinking about joining this company that being in the food industry is a very solid, secure place to be. I've been here for 37 years. I've seen economic booms and busts. We've lived through most of COVID at this point, and people always eat. And knowing that you can have a job that can weather all of the economic ups and downs, I think for me, job security is huge. Young people, there's going to be lots of opportunity to move into the seafood industry and replace people that have been in this industry for 37 years. And so I would say that there's going to be tremendous opportunity to move up in these companies quickly and take on management roles. It's different every season. There's new challenges every season, and it's a really fast-paced business. And if that's what you're excited about and you have some passion for this, bring it. You know, before the merger, everything was theoretical. It was 1 + 1 is going to equal 3. That you put Ocean Beauty and Icicle together, and it's going to be a stronger company. And you know, when you talk about the footprint, having geographically 10 factories located around the state, the strength of our tendering fleet, and how many potential run surges, you know, it's an over forecast here, under forecast there. We had modeled out that we would be able to deal with that better than most any other company. And the theoretical argument became a reality this summer. When COVID was going full steam and the salmon were going full steam, it really tested what we had on paper as a model. And we had a run that came in all at once, and it came in huge. And we had the tendering and we had the capacity on Kodiak Island to continue to bleed off what we needed to keep fresh fish going through the factories, not get behind on production, and we didn't put our fishermen on limits. Not one fish sat at the dock and got old. We processed, we stayed on fresh fish the whole summer. And so, you know, it was a lot of paper and theoretical talk before the merger, but we had a team that worked together, and they proved all of this out this summer, and we were really effective. I think we came through our first season as OBI with flying colors, and we were super proud of our team. My favorite seafood is 2. They both start with king. King crab, big Maris section out of a king crab, and a king salmon. I'd say it's 50-50, but those are my 2 favorites. One thing that I couldn't live without is being outdoors. I don't spend a lot of time in the house on the weekends. I'm usually outside doing something. I think that's one of the things that attracts me to the seafood business in Alaska. Some of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life were in Alaska. I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho. My favorite place to relax is at home in front of the fireplace with my wife Kaylani and my dog Knox. This summer, our big COVID project was building a woodshed. And the deal was if I built the woodshed, Kehlani would split all the wood and fill it up. And we have a log splitter, but still, there's probably 3 cords of wood that she split and stacked. And this winter, we've spent a lot of time in front of the fireplace, and it's been more rewarding than ever. I guess if there's one thing that would sum up my approach or my attitude about work is show up. If you don't show up, it doesn't matter. And if you're not at the table, your voice is never going to be heard. So you got to show up if you represent a constituency, or it's important that your input on the business is there. You need to show up and be at the table and bring some passion for what you do. A friend of mine always had this saying. He said, get off or get out. Get off on the job, be excited, be passionate about it, or just go find another job that you are, because it doesn't make sense for you to be here. And I've always taken that to heart. And so I think passion, competitiveness, those things are it makes the job fun. And those are the kind of people I love to work with.